just collected this. It's obviously a Rover 400, but it's a rather special one because 420 GSI but turbo, so they only made 300, so it's already quite a rare car. What makes this one rarer is it's so original. Most of these, well, I think there's 7 left. This is one of them. This one has only done 80,000 miles. It is absolutely stock standard, completely unmolested. The only thing that isn't standard is it's got a aftermarket cone air filter and a stainless steel exhaust. But really, that in itself isn't, you know, I'm very happy to have the exhaust, and the cone filter is like kind of subtle, so it needs a lot of TLC. I don't think it's been on the road since about 2014. The cam belt needs doing. It's got an oil leak, so usual place on a T16, it's from the front of the head gasket at the left side, but really it needs a head gasket just to stop the oil leak. It hasn't ever got hot, and it needs a paint job because we have lots of lacquer peel. There isn't actually any rust on this car apart from on the front wing the other side. All of the problem areas down here, there's a tiny bit of surface, but it's all solid, so that will all need rubbing down and treating, but beyond that there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm extremely happy. It wasn't cheap, but it's rare, and since I got rid of that 420 GSI estate, which was a non-turbo, and I realised how good these cars were, I kind of regretted getting rid of it. And so when this came up, a guy I know, good guy, top bloke actually, yeah, I rang him up and said I'll come and have a look, and then I went and got it this morning. New wings are 70 quid each side, and that's genuine Rover ones, not pattern part ones. So if it's going to get resprayed, I might as well just put a pair of wings on it as well. So I'm going to now get it off the trailer, get myself a pen and paper and write a whole list of all of the parts and bits and pieces I need for it. It's even got the original turbo spec 420 GSI wheels, which are nice to have. Most of them have been lost. These are a bit chewed up, so I'm going to see if I can get a replacement for that and then refurbish the others. I haven't even looked in the boot yet. It might be that there's a decent factory spare in there, so fingers crossed. Had a bit of a result. In the boot we have a genuine original boot liner. Got a clutch cable as well over there, but even better than that, under here we have genuine sport turbo alloy wheel, and a completely dry boot floor. Well, I say completely dry, almost entirely dry, and no rust. So that is extremely promising. I have had a quick look under here. There's the stainless exhaust all the way through, but it's really in pretty damn nice condition. Car unloaded. Got myself a cup of tea, piece of paper and a pen. I'm going to be a bit more methodical and just go around the car and work out what I need, what I don't need, and then start compiling myself a list. I haven't really done that on other cars, and it's come back to bite me in the arse when I'm trying to do stuff and I don't have the bits with me. This car's going to have to sit here for a while until I've got enough room to bring it home, so hence the need for a list. The ABS light is on, and I've just found there's an ABS sensor completely unplugged, so I'm hoping if I plug that in, maybe the ABS light will go off. Wasn't so lucky with the ABS warning light, and I shouldn't really be driving this, but it's fucking cool. Makes great noises. Wheel spins like anything. You see why they put LSDs in. But yeah, it makes nice turbo boosty pigeon noises. Clutch is good, gearbox works, brakes actually work even though they're very rusted up. It's just a lot of torque from low down. This thing's going to be good fun. This is all with a standard dump valve or wastegate setup, so I can't remember whether these recirculate. It must be a recirculating one. Shouldn't be atmospheric. There is a little pipe broken off, which I think is part of the problem, but yeah, good fun. It did have a slightly noisy tappet, but that seems to have quieted down quite a lot already. It won't make proper boosty noises unless it's under load. But yeah, all good. I'm now going to pack up my stuff, head off home and start buying things. I had a couple of hours spare today, so I've popped over to the car just to start really taking a look at what's what. First thing I've done is taken the cam covers off. You can see in here the cams have some nice even normal wear, but what's quite reassuring is the colour of that cylinder head. It's nice, it's not been wanting for oil changes. All good and honest, and no nasty chunks out of the cams, no evidence of bluing or heating, just normal even wear, so that's a result. I have also been working to expose the timing belt, which is here. Got most of it off. There's one bolt down there, and what I'm noticing is they all crack off nicely. There's no knackered threads, there's nothing looks like it's been disturbed, so I wouldn't mind betting that that's the original belt, but we'll have a look inside in a minute and see if we can look for any identifying marks. Moment of truth, you will see this as soon as I see it. What have we got? I mentioned identifying marks. I have no idea what I should be looking for, but what impresses me so far is there's no horrible cracking. Oh my god, that feels loose as anything. That's unbelievably loose. That is really bad. So you can always pull the belt off, it's that floppy. That's wrong. Oh well, glad I'm changing it. Blindingly obvious and staring me in the face. Definitely been apart, so it must be a new belt. That's why it's not perished. I was half expecting it to look like that, which is the auxiliary belt, which is completely perished. But no, the timing belt looks new, but it is incredibly wobbly. You should not be able to do that with it. There's no resistance there whatsoever. So it's timed up perfectly. By coincidence, it's stopped exactly almost at top dead center, I think, and the markings all line up, so it's not skipped a tooth or anything, but that would have been a concern for me. But yeah, that's okay. Really, I haven't got anything productive to do today. I just wanted to poke stuff. Just removing some of the ancillary stuff of the inlet pipes. The throttle body has delaminated from its rubber mount onto the inlet manifold, which is kind of normal. The turbo, you can just feel it in there. There's no play whatsoever on that spindle. Spins lovely. There's minimal oil in the intercooler and the inlet tracks, which is quite nice too. So that's all looking rather, well, basically no major dramas. That pipe is massively secondhand, fit to burst, and that lower coolant rail is basically rust, so that'll be replaced with a stainless one when I can find one. Out of time for tonight. Got the intercooler out. Not a lot more to say really. Battery tray is going to need a good blasting, but most of the nuts seem to, all the bolts seem to be turning, which is good. So I'm going to call it a night, and don't know when I'll next be back. First batch of parts have arrived. That is that pipe reducer that goes from the thermostat area to that coolant rail across the front of the engine. That's a genuine Land Rover part. Fuel filter, oil filter, auxiliary belt or alternator belt. That is a front crank seal, so crank pulley. When that has to come off, so I do a timing belt. I can change that as well, just preventative maintenance really. Random coolant hose, and the main coolant hose that goes from the bottom fuel rail up to, I think, part of the, I think that actually goes to the header tank, that end. Basically that pipe is so horribly corroded that even once I've removed it and cleaned out the old pipe, chances are the rubber's going to be damaged or impregnated with rust. So I bought a new bottom pipe, new water pump, and then I also have a header tank somewhere. Let me go and find that. New header tank. This is a genuine MG Rover part as well. It's the correct one, so it doesn't have the water sensor in it, but yeah, that will go to there. I could have reused the original one, but there's some slight cracks in it and it's filthy stained. In the past I could never get them quite clean and bright and minty looking, so I just bought a new one. That was about 40 quid posted off eBay. I also have a new downpipe. I've ordered the downpipe gaskets, ordered a head gasket set, what was it, a timing belt set, and a decent inlet manifold gasket kit and exhaust manifold kit, the proper one, with the refirings in it, not the shitty composite crap one that you can get, and a few other bits and pieces, spark plugs, oil, just waiting for them all to turn up and then I can start doing the head gasket. Another day, another little bit of progress in the evening. I'm going around taking out anything that's black metal and rusty so that it can be sent off blasted and powder coated, because I'm fed up of cleaning brackets like this myself. It's much easier just to get someone else to do it, blast it, paint it, or powder coat. It's quite annoying because you have to take the fuse box out and apart to get those wires through the side of that bracket, but they can only go in one way round, so that's okay. I know I shouldn't do this, but I haven't got a drip tray today, but check that for shit fuel. This car hasn't run or been on the road for a very long time. That's pretty much yellowy orangey goop coming out of there. So yeah, tells a story. Car sat for a long time. I'm surprised it ran as well as it did then. Found a drip tray, and what's very much more promising, and sadly you can't see it now, but that was very fresh looking coolant. Green in fact, so that's good. Shouldn't be too furred up inside.